What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a true hoot and a holler, a banger if you will. This is a story that I've been sitting on for a little while, and I figured we'd finally get to telling it. So first off, drop a like if you guys do enjoy. Second off, I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday season and is excited for 2020. I know I am. And third, why the fuck do I not have 10K on Twitter, guys? Go follow me on Twitter. Links at the top of the description. I'm going to be following some people back, so go follow me. Look at my most recent tweet. By the time this video is up, my most recent tweet will be the one you need to be looking at. Drop a like on that tweet, and I'll follow some of you guys back. Get me to 10K tonight, gamers. I know you can do it. I'm less than 500 followers away. I know you can do it. I will tweet a picture of my meat. Actually, no, I won't. I won't do that, but maybe I might tweet a picture of my meat, so you want to be there for that. But either way, let's dive right into it. Doing cocaine in Orlando. Now, this actually came before the whole Coke Chronicles binge. For those of you guys who have watched my Coke Chronicles series, you're familiar with the fact that the reason the Coke Chronicles even occurred is because of a breakup. During the relationship, though, I was also dabbling in cocaine, just not really binging it. And this is one of those instances. So, in about the beginning of May of this year, right? Her and I, we're going to call her Ashley. Ashley and I, we've been dating for like 4 months at the time, right? And she had her like break between her, spring semester and her summer semester at the school she was going to, right? So during that break, she wanted to go on vacation down to Orlando where her family was at, right? In Florida. So I was like, well, I'll fly down there because we were long distance at this point, right? So I was like, okay, I'll fly down to Florida. We'll link up in Orlando. Like we were long distance. I flew to Florida every single month, bro. This shit was tax. But nevertheless, so I'm like, all right, let's go to Orlando, instead of where you were coming from, which I'm not going to divulge. That's privacy and shit. So she's like, all right, yeah, let's do a little week in Florida. So, or not a week in Florida, a week in Orlando, excuse me. So she's looking around at Airbnbs. We find this shitty little Airbnb in like a shack. Like I'm talking like it's this little add-on to the back of this house that's just like one bedroom. Like think of like a micro apartment, like the smallest studio apartment you could imagine. This space was no bigger than 200 square feet. Maybe, dude. Like, honestly, 200 square feet was pushing it, bro. Like, this space was so fucking tiny, but it was cheap. So we rent out this Airbnb for a week, right? I fly down to Orlando. She picks me up from the airport. Now, me being me, for those of you guys who have me added on Snapchat, you may remember me being in Orlando, posting all over my story, yo, who's got packed, bro? I need some loud down here. Because I landed, I didn't bring any weed. I didn't bring anything with me. I didn't want to get popped. I was on the way to see my girlfriend, so I was like, I can't get in trouble, So, nevertheless, I get down there and I'm just posting all over my story, dude, who's got the pack around here? And eventually I get put on with this plug who's got some pretty good shit, right? The first thing I did was the very next day after I landed, right? I went and I took my girlfriend's car because she just drove down to Orlando, right? I actually had to fly in from Chicago, right? But she just drove down, so we had her car, which was nice. We didn't have to rent a car. But I take her car, drive like 30 minutes out of where we were staying, and go grab off this guy, right? And, grabbing off a complete stranger in a town that you've never been to, that, someone just referred you, it could be a little sketchy. So, of course, when this guy pulled up, I took off my nice watch and I left it in my glove box. I took all the cash except the cash I was spending out and put it in the glove box of the car. And then I hopped out and I got in this guy's car. Turned out he was a super friendly guy, right? Great transaction. Had honestly some of the best weed that I've smoked in a long time. Like definitely when I think of all the plugs I've ever gone to in terms of quality, this guy was like top five for sure. This guy had some really fucking good shit. So, we're talking for a little bit and, he's just like, oh, what are you doing down here? And I'm like, oh, I'm just here because my girlfriend, goes to school out here and all that. And he's like, oh, that's pretty dope, dude. So we shake up, I get back in, my girl's car and I drive back to the Airbnb, right? Now, she doesn't mind me smoking weed. That's not a problem with her. That was never a problem with her. But she was not a fan of me doing hard drugs. And as you guys could imagine, that was a large rift in the relationship, right? Because here's me, my literal job is to be a crackhead, and here's this woman who very obviously wants nothing to do with any crackheads. Like this chick, like I'm not gonna speak too much as to why for, her privacy and stuff, but she's in a career path where she can't be affiliated with me, basically, okay? She's not a cop. I don't date feds. But listen, she's in a career path where she can't really affiliate with me, right? So she was cool with me smoking weed, but everything else was like all hell broke loose, right? So we get back, or I get back to the Airbnb. She's just laying there. I smoke a little bit of dope, roll up some blunts, having a great time, dude. And I'm getting stoned. It's the first day in Orlando, and we're talking, or the second day now. It's the first full day, I guess, because I landed the last night. So this is the first full day in Orlando. I'm getting stoned, and we're sitting there chatting about what to do, what to plan, and we just have a pretty laid back day. However, our relationship was pretty rocky, right? Like this vacation, we kind of viewed as like, okay, like this is like our honeymoon, and if this doesn't work, we're fucked. And of course, we just fought the entire time, right? We just fought the entire fucking time. So I think that first day was probably the only tranquil, peaceful day of that entire trip. But then the next day rolls around. We spend the whole day arguing, whole day fighting, right? Nothing much really happened. I don't even know if we left the Airbnb except to like go to Taco Bell and shit. But like, basically, we just argued the whole day. Then the next day, she was going to see her family, right? She had a little family gathering that she was going to at her aunt's house. And, she was like, oh, we're going to be getting drunk tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm going to need you to, like, pick me up and drive me there because I'm going to be drunk, right? So I'm like, yeah, no problem. So, I drive her out there. And I realize as I'm driving her out there, like, hey, I'm about to have some alone time. And listen, the relationship is going bad when you're on vacation with Shorty and you're hype as hell to get rid of her. Like I was like, oh dude, I could face hella blunts, I could do drugs, let's go. So I'm whipping on over to her aunt's house with her and shotgun, and we'd just gotten into a nasty little argument prior, so we weren't conversating very much, I drop her off. I think her aunt came out and like waved at me or something. I gave a little nice wave back and pulled on off. And immediately I pull out my phone and I hit up Weed Man. And I'm like, yo, dude, do you have anything but weed? And he's like, yeah, what you need, bro? And I'm like, you got some blow? And he's like, dude, hell yeah, dude, of course. He's like straight from Miami, bro. I'm like, ooh, okay. All right, my man. So I'm chatting with him a little bit, and I'm like, bro, let me get a gram. Just a gram for now, And if it's good, I'll definitely come back and grab more. And also, let me get a little more weed. So I drive straight over to this guy, link up with him, and I grab a gram of coke and another 1/4 ounce of weed, right? So at this point, my original grab, I bought a 1/2 ounce off him. I hadn't smoked the whole half. I just wanted to get more of it just in case he ran out, because I was only there for a limited time. So now I had enough to for sure last me through the week, definitely no concern. I had almost a zip. That would definitely last me for this vacation, right? So I go back to the Airbnb and I sit down at this little table in this 200 square foot shack attached to the back of this house. Like, guys, there was no privacy in this Airbnb. Like, there was one night we were fucking, and there's this little door that they sealed off that is attached to the rest of the house, and they sealed it off. They caulked it and stuff, so it doesn't even open. But you could hear them from the other side because there's little cracks in the bottom. So I hear them cooking dinner, and I assume that this is connected to the kitchen. This little door has to be connected to the kitchen or something, because I hear them cooking dinner as I'm balls deep in this chick. And I'm like, oh shit, dude. But nevertheless, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of how kind of struggle this Airbnb was. This was not a nice Airbnb, guys. I wasn't balling hard, We had to budget on this vacation, But hey, that was in May. We hooping now, baby. But nevertheless, so either way, I get back to, I sit down, I start rolling up a blunt, and I FaceTime my buddy Kevin, and I'm like, Kevin, we've acquired marijuana, and we've acquired some extra goodies. And he's like, ooh, so we're chatting a little bit, we're talking on FaceTime, and my girl left her laptop, right? So I get on her laptop, hop on League of Legends, right? Me and Kevin, we're playing League. I'm talking to her built-in mic. Bitch has a MacBook or some shit. I don't remember. It wasn't a MacBook. I'm retarded. It wasn't even a Apple PC. It was Windows. It was just some shitty little laptop. Do y'all hear the Fed outside of my house right now? What did I do? Do y'all hear that? All right, whatever, bro. Either way, nevertheless, I get some League of Legends going, and I start chopping up some lines. And this coke, listen, it wasn't as good as the stuff that I was getting from my guy, back home, right? It wasn't as good as the stuff that I was getting during the Coke Chronicles, but I will say, extremely respectable and got me geeked as fuck. Like, I wasn't having, the runs later. This wasn't no laxative shit. Like, this was respectable cocaine, Like, had I not been exposed to, like, the Pablo Escobar of my area, I probably would have loved this and viewed this as the best coke I'd done. But unfortunately, I found like Chapo's descendant in the Chicagoland area. So it's kind of scary, dude. I'm not kidding. But nevertheless, so I just start railing this coke. And, I'm not going to lie. This was at the point in the relationship where like I was starting to kind of use drugs and especially coke as a coping mechanism, right? And I still wasn't doing it every day. After we broke up is when I started doing it every day. We broke up about 2 weeks after this trip, by the way. But nevertheless, on this particular evening, I just started going hard on the blow, right? I railed this whole gram, and fuck if I know, dude. It was not that long that it took me to rail this whole gram. Because I remember my girl, Ashley, she was gone for maybe like 5 hours, I think, give or take, 5 or 6. She hits me up to come pick her up. And by that point, all my coke was gone, but I was still pretty geeked, right? She hits me up to pick her up. I go and grab her. Now, she is wasted. Like, I've seen her drunk, but never have I seen her this wasted. I remember one time, this bitch was at a bar, right? And I'm in Illinois, she's in Florida. And she calls me and she asks me to walk her home. And I'm like, dude, I'm in Chicago. Like, are you good? And she got mad at me because I wouldn't walk her home. Like I'd seen her that drunk. This was drunker. I only said that to give you an idea of how fucking drunk, right? So she gets in the car. This bitch is talking like an idiot, dude. This chick can't form a sentence, right? And we get to this red light, and I'm making this turn. I remember this so vividly. There's these cops stopped on the other side of the road, and they're all standing in the median as if there was like a car accident or something, right? And these cops are maybe 10 feet to my left. Maybe. Sirens on, out of their cars, looking in my direction. Ashley's horny as fuck, bro. And she's like reaching, she's trying to suck my dick in this car. She is reaching for my pants and I have to keep throwing her hands off. I'm like, there's cops right there. Stop. Please, God, stop it. I'm geeked right now. Do not do this. Like, we can wait till we get back, So, and I'm damn near getting sexually assaulted the whole drive home, dude. I'm getting straight fondled in the function, dude. This chick's like popping her titties out and shit. I'm like, yo, dude, chill out. We have like a 30-minute drive. I can't do this. Like, I'm on cocaine and you're pulling out titties. I'm gonna crash this car, okay? But luckily, I got back and everything was fine and dandy, and I never grabbed any more coke off that guy again, despite really wanting to. I never really got the opportunity to because the rest of the trip was just spent bickering and fighting, which was kind of ass. But then after that, flew home, we broke up like 2 weeks later, and then the Coke Chronicles was released. Or the Coke Chronicles began, excuse me. Hope you guys enjoyed the Yakuza gameplay in this video. Drop a like if you did. Let me know if you guys are excited for 2020 and the new content coming soon. Once again, follow me on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.